Hi there. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Ambitious Vector Cinema. I'm going to use this channel to explain how I approach making my photographic work. And the videos on this channel will be a series of dissecting photographs that I take and explaining where I drew inspiration to make the photograph. I'm going to maybe do some instructional videos on how to expose or how to scan or how to develop film. But today we're going to be going on a photo walk on some long exposure night photos that I made recently. And I'm going to basically take you to 3 locations where I shot these images and explain to you what I was thinking, what inspired me to make the photos. And I'm going to voice over the footage that I recorded while I was making these photos. I did forget to say that all of the images were shot on Kodak Portra 400, and all except for the last image were shot at f8. I just forget to say that in my voiceover. But yeah, welcome to the channel. I hope that you are interested enough in my photographic work to subscribe and keep tabs on what I'm up to. In stop 1 of this night shooting, I decided to go to my grandparents' house to photograph the entryway into their house. I had shot this before during the day, but it didn't provide or tell the story that I wanted it to when I developed it and looked at it as a day shot. So I wanted to go for a more dreamlike, memory feeling image, so I felt nighttime long exposure was the way to go. What I brought with me for tonight's shoot was my Dolica tripod, a Rolleiflex 3.5 Type A made in the 50s, light meter, and a shutter release cable. This image in particular means a lot to me because it will forever be attached to my memory of my grandparents. They're still alive right now, but I know that when I make this image, it's going to hold a lot of meaning for a long time. And it will be something that I can look back on when I'm older and maybe I'm a grandparent, and it will still provide those memories that I'm always trying to recreate when I make my photos. A lot of my photos are driven by dreams or daydreams that I have, connections that I have in the real world. This in particular being a connection to my grandparents and the amount of time that I spend there growing up and currently. I have a very close connection with my grandparents, and I love them to death, so I'd been wanting to make this photo for probably about a year and a half, 2 years, and never really got around to doing it until this night, which was it's the 5th right now, a couple of nights ago. So what I'm doing right now is I'm light metering. I'm metering for the scene. I mainly cared about the brick, and I kind of wanted to underexpose everything else. So I didn't take 2 readings. I just took 1. And I think this one was 1 second. And I really quite enjoyed how it came out. Something that happens with film is you'll get mishaps. So in this one, I can get a little blue flare and a little light leak coming in from the side, which I love. Later on in the night, I ventured down to, I guess I could call it my alma mater, my elementary school in the neighborhood that I grew up in. Spent a lot of time and a lot of nights goofing around at this school, and a lot of the imagery that I take here means a lot to me, because I will dream about this school a lot. I'm not exactly sure why, but I dream a lot, and I almost always source my inspiration for my photos from my dreams. When I'm out there shooting these photos, I'm drawing memories from both being a young kid in this elementary school, and also like dreams that I've had that I'm trying to make sense of in the process of making the photo. And the school essentially looks the same from when I got there, but with a few slight changes. So for this photo, I wanted to get a shot of this basketball hoop that it's been broken down, and they really haven't fixed it. I don't exactly know why. It's still there, and this building right here with the light on is the exit that you take as, I think, a 5th grader to go out to recess. And recess is something that, as an adult, you outgrow. So my recess now is going out and making photos or doing whatever hobby or passion that I have, which, interestingly enough, I like to make photographs, but I also really enjoy playing basketball. So a lot of my work includes basketballs, just because I dream about basketball a lot, and I just have a deep, deep, deep connection with the sport. So I wanted to kind of mirror my memory and my personal connections with both the school and the basketball hoop, in that when I did go to that school, we would go out for recess and we'd play basketball. And today, in present day, I'm still going out for my recess, quote unquote, uh, making photos. And I'm taking pictures of basketballs. I don't know. I think it's a kind of cool connection. But I did 2 exposures for this one. I did uh, a 24-second exposure and a 14-second exposure because I wasn't sure what exactly was the most important uh, subject in the photo, the doors or the basketball hoop. And I actually favored the slightly underexposed one just because I like having that information where the green doors are. And I kind of like the red cast that's put onto the basketball hoop. Another photo that I was wanting to make here at the school was there's this shot of essentially like there's like 3 levels or 3 doors. There's 4 really, but there's 3 doors that as you advance in the school, you when you go outside for recess or for gym, you come out of a certain door. And I saw this frame one night when I was out there taking another photo where you can see all 3 doors kind of in a row. And it's just a nice little vignette telling the story of like graduation from one stage in your life to the next. So it kind of goes from early to later to latest, and then there's me with the camera in present day shooting it in the current moment at the current time because I've taken a step forward in my life, quote unquote. So it's a lot of mirroring, and it's also like a dream that I've had. As you graduate through life, you experience more things, you slowly advance in this world. And I actually really, really, really love this photo. And also, it was very cloudy that night, but you can see at the very top left that the moon did peek out for just a little bit during this 24-second exposure. The last photo that I took here this night um, is of this really creepy house that is literally like right by the school. And at night, they always have this red light on, and it just looks really creepy. And if you know anything about red lights, you know that there's some suspect activity associated with that. And I just think it's really eerie that it's like right by a school and the house looks out into the school. And, I was just really interested by it, and I've had dreams about it, like I've said. A lot of my work stems from dreams. And for this one, it was a lot darker, so I did a 30-second exposure, which really, really baked that light blue into the sky. And initially I didn't like it, but I really like how the gate and the signs came out. For our final location, I drove over to what me and my friends call the spot. This is a local park slash church slash basketball court uh, where we go play basketball when it's like late at night and all the gyms are closed. Spent a lot of time hanging out here at this spot. Uh, it's very close to the heart. A lot of memories have been made there. A lot of basketball has been played there. And I had recently been I had recently figured out uh, how to do a self timer on my Rolleiflex, and I was thinking like, okay, it's about time I do a self portrait. I haven't done one in like a year, so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go to the spot. I'm gonna shoot a self portrait of me playing basketball because it's again a merger of you know all of my hobbies, photographs, making photographs, playing basketball. And typically I wouldn't take pictures of myself. I don't really enjoy taking pictures of myself, but this was a lot more methodical, and you know, I uh, I think it's interesting because what I was going for was I wanted to depict kind of what I see when I'm making photos, and I daydream a lot when I'm taking photos. So like I'll imagine if I'm taking a photo of a basketball court, sometimes I'll imagine myself while I'm framing up a shot. You know, if I was out there playing basketball, where would I be? So I can I frame the subject around wherever I'm placing myself in the frame. And so I wanted to try this cool effect where I'm like in the shot, but I look like a ghost almost. It's like I'm in the shot, but I'm not in the shot. And so I metered this one. I think this was like 1 second at 3.5. All of the other photos were shot at f8. I probably should have said that, but yeah, this is at 3.5, 1 second self portrait. I absolutely fell in love with this image. I love the colors. I love the fact that I'm visible, but you can also see through me. I just, it really drives home like all the emotion that I feel when I'm like playing basketball at the spot. Like, I feel after looking at that image that even if I move away and I'm not there, my presence will always be there at the spot. I know that might sound cheesy, but I just really enjoyed how that image came out, and it made me really happy pulling that off the roll. All of these photos were home processed by me and scanned by me. Um, and if you liked the video, like and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see coming up on the channel. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Other things are in the works. Peace out, guys.